Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croydragon and welcome back to Microsoft Dogs. Today we start the tours of Gula, an ancient rice woman. First up, Dog Towns. Let's get started.
What's that you say? Come closer, child. My ears aren't what they used to be. Oh, don't worry about those dogs there. They're tame enough. At least when they're asleep. Now, what did you want to know? About the dogs? Well, if you want to know about them, you've come to the right person. I may be an old woman, but I still know more than anyone else in this village about raising dogs. Been at it all my life. So click that picture of me up in the corner, and I'll tell you what I know about how humans first tamed dogs. Or at least some of it. Where to begin? Where to begin? You know, of course, that this land of ours is an ancient one. Why, we were once part of a mighty Babylonian empire. No, child, I never met Nebuchadnezzar. I may be old, but I'm not that old. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Since the Babylonians, we've had the Egyptians, the Hittites, the Assyrians, the Persians, the Greeks, and now the Romans marching through our fields with their dogs of war. But a thousand years before even Babylon was a twinkle in King Hammurabi's eye, we had dogs of our own. I can't tell you who first got the idea of taming the wild animals that prowled just beyond our firelight. I like to think that long ago, a woman, maybe like me, found a litter of wolves of wild dogs, brought them into the village with her. Now before you go out looking for baby wolves or jackals, let me warn you, it takes more than just raising an animal with people to make it tame. Yes, indeed. Bring a wild pup into this village, and it'll probably grow up to kill the sheep instead of herd 'em. So how did these dogs get so tame, you ask? Well, it didn't happen overnight. It took many generations of carefully choosing only the gentlest, most willing to please pups from each litter. People wanted dogs that acted more like puppies, even when they were grown. I can't imagine what life was like before we had dogs to help us herd the flocks or hunt wild game. And in this day and age, with barbarians sweeping down from the east, hungry Roman legionnaires marching in from the west, you can't be too careful. It doesn't hurt to have a little extra protection, like... What? What? Come again. A big dog breathing down your neck, you say?
Wonder who comes from the north and the south.
Oh, don't mind him. That's just Caesar. You've probably noticed that huge fighting mastiffs like him are mighty popular with the Romans. In fact, Caesar there got left behind, didn't you, the last time a legion marched through here? But the Romans weren't the first to discover big dogs. Oh, no. The Phoenicians were trading mastiffs back when Rome was no bigger than this village here. But you know the Romans, marching here, marching there with their big, great armies and conquering everything in sight. For the most part, the Romans just litter the countryside with dogs they don't need anymore. Just like old Caesar there. A blessing in disguise, I call it. Gives me new stock to experiment with. Right now I'm considering mating Caesar to one of my grandson's running hounds, just to see what happens. I see plenty of strange things, let me tell you. Elephants from the east, caravans of traders from the south, bringing slaves and spices up from Africa. Even barbarian Huns now and then, I'm sorry to say, pillaging their way down from the north. And of course, they all bring their dogs with them. I can't imagine what animal fathered these dogs. If they are dogs.
So that's what comes from the north and the south.
And I've heard there are even stranger looking dogs to the west. One tribe of barbarians, the Celts, seem to be uncommonly fond of dogs, especially if they're big or red. Actually, it was tales of these Celtic dogs that gave me the idea of crossing Caesar with one of my grandson's dogs. From what I've heard about those giant dogs, they're just bigger, hairier versions of our own running hounds. You know, the last time the proconsul came through here, he had with him a dog that was about the size of a rabbit. My grandson tells me these small animals are very popular with Roman ladies. But I just can't understand what they see in them. They don't hunt, they don't herd, they certainly don't guard. So why bother? Oh, wait a minute, child. I have something to show you. Where did I put them? Caesar, move! Oh, here they are. This dog's skull came from the east, from a land far, far over the mountains. To tell the truth, I'm not entirely convinced that it is a dog. Looks more like a monkey's head to me. The other comes from Gaul, the skull of a wild wolf, I'm told. How different they are. And yet, oh, forgive me, child, but I'm old and I need my rest. If you'd like to prowl around on your own, feel free. Caesar will make sure no harm comes to you. Won't you, Caesar? Just click the contents button. Or if you'd like another guided tour, click my picture to return to the guide screen.
And that is all for today. I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Stay straight.